In this chapter of the video series, I'm going to describe how to manage automatic updates for applications that are already installed on your system. When you build software applications and then want to upgrade the application, there are a number of steps involved. First of all, in the application descriptor file, you control the version number. Then at runtime, you have to download the application installer from the website, then compare the new version to the old version that's running on the system, and then finally automatically do the update. For all of the demonstrations in this chapter, I'll be using a Flex project that's a part of the exercises area. If you're following along with the exercises, you can import this project using the Flex Builder menu selection, File, Import, Flex Project. Click the Browse button next to Archive File, navigate to the Chapter 12 folder of the exercises area, and select the Flex Project Archive file, Chapter 12 Begin Project.zip. Import the file, then go to the Flex Navigator view and open the project, and then open the source folder. You'll find that there's one very simple application named myAirApplication.mxml. Open the application and take a look at the code. There's an import for the alert class, 3 empty functions named downloadUpdater, completeHandler, and closeHandler. The 2 eventHandler functions use event objects, a label, and a button control. And the button control's click event calls the downloadUpdater method. Next, open up the application descriptor file, myAirApplication-app.xml. This is a standard default Air application descriptor file with one minor change. The application version, which is at line 27, has its version number set to a value of 1.0. I'm using a pure numeric value for the version numbers, because this will help me demonstrate later on how you compare version numbers from an old version to a new version. Finally, go back to the application and run it, and you'll see that it displays a very simple background with a label and the button labeled Download Updater. Close the application, and now I'm going to package the application installer. From the Flex Builder menu, select File, Export, Release Build. Select the application, myAirApplication.mxml, from the Chapter 12 Begin project, and change the name of the default Air file from myAirApplication to myAirApplication v1.air. This will help us distinguish between the version 1 installer and the version 2 installer, which we haven't created yet. Click through the rest of the screens. If you need to set up a digital certificate, you can do it from this digital signature screen. I'll accept my existing certificate, and then click Finish to package the application. In your Flex Navigator view, you should now have an installer package, myAirApplication v1.air. Double-click it to run it, and then install the application, following all of the prompts and accepting all of the defaults. After the application has been installed, it should open on your screen. Close the application, and then return to the application code. Now we're going to create a version 2 of the application. Save this file with a new name, File, Save As, and name this myAirApplication v2.mxml. Make a couple of changes to the visual output of the application. Change the background color from aqua to red. Go down to the label component and change its version number to version 2.0. Save those changes. Now, go back to myAirApplication-app.xml, open that, and save that as myAirApplication v2-app.xml. The one thing you won't change here is the identifier. In order to do an automatic update, the 2 versions of the application must have the same ID. So even this one is named myAirApplication v2.mxml, we'll leave the ID alone. But we will change the version number from version 1 to version 2. Save the changes to the application descriptor, then go back to the application, myAirApplication v2.mxml, and run the application. When this version of the application opens on the screen, you'll see that it now has a red background so we can identify it easily, and a label of version 2. Close the application, and now package the application. Select File, Export, Release Build. Select myAirApplication v2.mxml, and change the export file name to MyAirApplication v2.air. Click through the rest of the screens, selecting the digital certificate and including the required files, and then click Finish. So you now should have two copies of the application, MyAirApplication v1.air and MyAirApplication v2.air. They're both using the same application ID. So if I tried to run the Air application for version 2 right now, the Air installer would detect that the version numbers have changed from version 1, the installed version, to version 2. Now you could replace the existing application this way, but we're more interested in this chapter in seeing how to handle this update automatically, using ActionScript code to download the new installer and then inspect the version numbers and finally automatically do the update. So cancel this installation process, and in the next video, I'll show you how to take the version 2 Air file, copy it to your website, and then how to download the Air file using ActionScript code in your version 1 application.